Well, as farm bankruptcies climb in parts of the Midwest and the Plains, ag bankers are increasingly restructuring existing loans and boosting the collateral needed for new ones. Joining us now is for today's Rural Money segment is Roger McEowen. He's with the Washburn University School of Law. Roger, as always, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Certainly a timely topic here. Bankruptcies are, of course, taking place nationwide, and I understand that those may be on the decline, but there's an increase in certain parts of the country. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, over the nation as a whole, there is a decline year over year. The most recent fiscal year ended to the prior fiscal year ending for the government. But it's very select. If you look at the center part of the country, if we're looking at Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, New York, those are where your increases are at in terms of Chapter 12 farm bankruptcy filings. Other parts of the country are seeing actually fewer bankruptcies filed. That's why we get an overall number that's down, but it's highly concentrated in the center part of the country and in the dairy country of Wisconsin and New York, and that's where it's really bad.
So how is this impacting the collateral needed for farm loans and extensions of those loans?
Well, what we're seeing a lot of ag lenders do, since land values have not gone down, is that they are redoing the loan such that more of the loan applies to the land value. So they're collateralizing the land to a greater extent with these restructurings. So that's what's happening right now. So we're seeing more real estate debt compared to non-real estate debt. That's going up, but that's because of the restructuring of the loans going on, simply because land values have not gone down like they did, for example, in the 80s, where they just absolutely went through the bottom and crashed.
So, Roger, what do you expect to see moving forward, and what is the takeaway that you want producers, landowners, or potential landowners to be aware of?
Well, the takeaway is, again, always be careful with respect to your tax strategies. You don't want to get yourself in a bad situation by overutilizing certain tax provisions that look very beneficial on the surface, but then can come back to bite you in the back end later on with respect to recapture provisions and so forth. Secondly, make sure you're managing expenses very well. Even if the tariff situation with China gets solved soon, prices are still going to be low simply because there's oversupply. That's mainly what the driver is, not so much tariffs, but we got oversupply in major commodities on a world level, and that's going to keep prices down. So you got to understand that, watch your marketing techniques very closely, and take advantage of those provisions that you can. Be close to your farm attorneys, your farm managers, your CPAs, and your bankers and lenders, and let them help you through this process. It's going to be a long slog.
All right, Roger, as always, thank you very much for your insight today. Roger McEowen, he's with the Washburn University School of Law, on the phone with us today from Topeka.